Oops. Let me send out an invite. Good afternoon, you guys. Good afternoon. Hey, girl. All right. Thank you guys so much for tuning in for my exclusive sit-down interview with fashion designer Jerri Reid. This is going to be an awesome interview this afternoon. That hair is everything. Thank you, girl. This cut, yes, get into it. I absolutely adore it. Like, everything about this cut is everything. And I got to do another wig review. Of course, this is from Sensational. And this is their butter lace, and you guys can tell that the lace blends in with every skin tone. So that's what I like about it. The HD lace blends in so perfectly, and you can hardly tell that I'm wearing a wig. So that's the good part about it. I'm trying to keep cool. You know what it's like, y'all know what it's like. So we're waiting on Jerri, and we're going to get right into this interview. Let me send him an invite to let him know that I'm on. Make sure you guys also go and check out my girl Step at the Bomb Lashes. I am wearing her lashes today. These lashes are everything, and you can tell we got like a little glow going on. So that's what's good about it. So I'm over here trying to keep cool. You know, a diva has to have her fan. But we're waiting. It's about to be good. Yes, I'm super excited about this interview. It is going to be amazing. I'm super excited about it. So we're waiting on our guests to get here, and we're going to start this interview right off. I'm super duper excited. His pieces are everything. They are so fabulous, and then some. So let me catch you guys up on what we're going to be doing. What we're going to be doing next week is we're going to have some guest co-hosts, and it's going to be absolutely amazing. So make sure you guys tune in right here on IGTV exclusively, because we're going to have some guest co-hosts and some more interviews, of course. And it has been announced that Knockout is going to be guest co-hosting in September. So I hope you guys are enjoying that. I'm so super duper ready for this interview. Yes. All right. Let's do it.
Perfect.
Good afternoon, my love.
Hey, how are you?
I'm excellent. How are you?
I'm great. I'm loving this hair.
Thank you. Let me turn
Yes.
so you guys can
Come
see
on
the
now.
angles.
Come on now. How are you?
I'm great, nephew. How are you doing?
I'm
Hey,
well. I
Glizzy.
can't complain.
Yes, you guys, ladies and gentlemen, this is fashion designer Jerri Reid,
Hey,
and his
everybody.
designs, if you have not seen them, this interview is about to be mind blowing because his pieces are absolutely everything. And if you guys have seen a little bit of my style, that's kind of where I picked it up from, is from his page. Like, different things, Vogue Italia, but this interview is not about me, it's about Jerri today. So, how are you doing, my love? Let's get this interview started.
I'm doing fantastic. And first off, I want to say thank you for this
So welcome.
opportunity to interview. I just want to say congratulations with this platform that you have. And
Thank
I'm
you.
excited so much for being a part of this. So I can't I can't be more grateful. So thank you.
One of my audience members said, "Oh, come on with the cheetah print." Yes.
Well, I'm actually wearing something from my new collection. It's on my website, www.jerryreed.com. This is the kitty cat shirt. So I really tried to make sure that I paid attention to my audience, my demographics, and who I am as a person with naming all of the pieces, of course. So yeah.
And without further ado, let's get this interview started, ladies and gentlemen. So
Yes,
the
yes.
first question I'm going to ask you is, what made you choose a career in fashion design?
I started with just sketching when I was like 18 or 19, working at Bank of America. And it was one of those things where I was like, oh, I could do a little pen, whatever, just draw whatever I want. But I ended up like just drawing everything on the back of receipts. And originally, I was using all of the receipt paper from the bank, and then my manager at the time called me, and she was like, "What are you doing?" She threw away all the sketches. I was like, "No, these are my babies." But originally, I only wanted to do an accessories line, like luggage, things of that sort. And another colleague of mine said, "Well, I see you doing much more." And when she said that, I thought to myself, this is an angel saying, do what you're supposed to do. And it's so ironic that I have not seen her till this day, ever since that conversation and us working together. So that was a blessing in disguise. I've been doing it for the past 8 years, and I've been able to take my brand much more serious within the past 5 years. So, yay, hooray. I just want to be a really big black business at this point.
And the collection just took a liking to its own. When I first seen it and I shared it, I said, "Oh, I have to share this with my fans and followers because they love fashion. They always tuned in to see what I'm going to be wearing." So I said, "How about giving something a little different?" And this collection definitely screams Miss Stevie. When I seen it, it was eye-catching. It was just like nothing I've never seen before. So keep doing it. It's absolutely
Thank you,
fabulous.
Stevie. Thank you so
You're
much.
so welcome. All right, my next question is, what is fashion for you?
It is a language in itself. We have English, we have Spanish, we have sarcasm, we have fashion. I feel and think that it is its language of its own, of expression. It has its own terminology. It has its own meaning to it. And fashion is something that revolves around this entire world, whether it be cultural, religious, um, based on ethnicity, any of those things. I really feel like fashion is a melting pot of things. So it's it's a cluster of things, and it makes me who I am.
My next question is, who and which things are the inspiration while creating any designs? Because when I first seen it, I thought Philip Tracy because of the hats. You know how Philip Tracy does the hats, the extravagant hats that they wear to the royal events. That's what I was thinking about when I first seen it. I love couture fashion. You guys know I indulge in couture fashion. And it's like flipping through the pages of Vogue Italia. It's like nothing I've never seen before. So you can answer
Oh,
the question. Just
of
had to add
course.
that.
Thank you, thank you. What inspired this was my culture in itself. I am a melting pot of the Caribbean, Hispanic descent, Black descent, everything. So I really wanted to channel who I am authentically. And out of all the collections that I have done, this was probably the first time that I got to interpret who I am as an artist and who I am as a designer and who I am as a business person. So what I realize is when people see me in my work, they're more receptive to it and they want it in that aspect. But when I have it on other muses, it's like, okay, it's nice, it's nice. But this time around, I wanted to exude a lot of my culture, a lot of my heritage. And that includes me being a Trinidadian man, a Panamanian man, a Honduran man. So, like, I have all of these different diasporas of culture mixed within me. There's Indian, there's Black, there's African, there's, a plethora of things that is all within me and understanding where I come from, even down to my spirituality. My mom is a pastor. She is of Christian belief, and my uncle, he is Muslim. So being able to just gravitate to all of these things and then understanding where religion comes from and spirituality in itself, I wanted to make sure that I incorporated all of what I believe and all of what I see and what I feel into my collection this time around. So, and especially being a queer man, it's important that I almost played with gender a bit more when it came to the clothing because ironically enough, maybe I shouldn't say this just yet, but ironically enough, like my first set of customers were all cis women. So it's just so funny to me that the collection is still fresh, a week and a half in, and majority of my clients have been cisgender women. myself. It's one of those things where I'm glad that I was able to uh, put my work out in a different way in the form of fashion, modeling it myself, presenting it myself, and just being open to whatever feedback that people have given me in the past. I was able to display that this time around.
And I absolutely love how you are gender inclusive. And that's why I chose to do an interview with you, because you guys know that I identify as non-binary, and fashion has no gender when it comes to stepping outside of your element and doing things that people wouldn't normally see normally. Especially since I'm down here in South Carolina, and you said you name what you're made up with, all these things, and how you include all of these things into your designs. Down here in South Carolina, people are so bland, and it's just like, so trying to get them to try to expand their horizons to see things that they've never seen before. And it's just like I said, you know, me growing up in South Carolina, my assistant principal, she put me on to high fashion labels like a Oscar de la Renta or Parenza Score or Valentino. Like, I didn't know it was so many, and it's very few that, like you said, that are like black and queer. With us being a part of the LGBTQ community, that's amazing that you're coming out now. And a lot of designers are starting to come out, like what's his name, Tom Brown and Peter Paolo. It's a lot of them, but it's very few that are black and queer. Why is that? Why do you think that is?
I think that a lot of our black and brown queer men that have been designing, they have been vocal about who they are as people, and they try their best to be as vocal as possible when it comes to their work, you know, as far as injecting themselves in it. For me personally, I believe I did what I did because I want to be in a space where other black queer men who are designers, who are artists in general, are able to just be themselves unapologetically and go ahead and be just all about them, all about their business. Because I'm now pushing this narrative of supporting other black queer men in their businesses and their artistry, all those things, just supporting black businesses, period. So as of lately, I have truly been pushing, like, support a black cook, support a black this, support a black that. At this point, I don't care about how I'm going to get it, whatever the service is. Even if it comes 20 days later and I ordered it and it was supposed to come 15 days before, it's fine. I'm going to be patient because I too understand and reflect on the fact that at one point, my black business was not thriving the way somebody else's could thrive. So it's really for me to understand myself and my other people in my community as far as black businesses go, just to understand and respect each other. So I'm doing what I'm doing simply to inspire others, just to be as good as possible.
And I love that. Like you said, my girl in the audience, my girl Step, make sure you guys go and check out the Bomb Lashes. I'm wearing her lashes today. Start supporting black-owned content creators, whether it's fashion, whether it's beauty, because it's very few of us. And now would be the perfect time, better than ever. With everything that's going on, start supporting black up-and-coming fashion designers. Because we know in the fashion industry, it's very few of us. It's very few. Just like back in the day when models would push for diversity, it's so many types of diversity. It's not just race, but it's sex. It's so many different things. So with everything going on, why not support a black up-and-coming fashion designer? And when I found Jerri's page, I was scrolling through Instagram looking for more couture fashion to repost on my feed because, like I said, I'm obsessed with Valentino and Mugler and designers like that. And Philip Tracy, it's a lot of them. But when I seen your page, I said, yes, this is it. I have to get an interview with him because the designs just stood out. And I'm a fan of prints and patterns and so many different textures when it comes to fashion. And fashion to me is about structure. It's about how you carry yourself. And it's up to you. If you want to put on a piece and you feel confident in it, wear it. My thing is this: don't wear the fashion. Don't let the fashion wear you. You wear the fashion. So you make it what it is. Okay, my next question to you is, according to you, what skills are necessary for becoming a successful fashion designer?
Well, I'm in a space where I'm still learning. You get what I'm saying? Every day, there's more to learn, there's more to do. Once you realize that you know everything, that's when you probably will start to fail. Because I've learned that from watching Michael Kors. Michael Kors himself was like, the moment when you realize that you think you know everything about your business, about your brand, about everything,
Yes.
you're going to fail. And look at this man now, multi-billion-dollar company. Not only that, he owns a bunch of other companies now that are household names that I don't even want to name drop because there's no need. They're not even Black businesses. It's fine. Um, I will continuously learn and do more. But what I will say is this: being a designer, you have to be able to take risks. You have to be able to
Yes.
be understanding of who you are and being true to yourself. Make sure that you implement everything that you believe. Therefore, you have to do all of the groundwork for it. Having a business is one thing, but maintaining a business is another. So the maintenance of it, you got to be able to be with the times. So for me personally, yes, I have a Black business. Yes, I'm a queer man with a Black business. But what else can I do to push forward? And I have to continuously pay forward to those that are coming after me as well. So I'm taking all of this time of learning my business and learning from other Black business owners. A lot of the people that I've been taking notes from are Black people, and they have been going sky high with their businesses, and it almost feels like Black men, Black gay men are just a little far behind. I'll speak for myself. I feel like I'm behind, and I'm trying to catch up now. Not to catch up with the world, but to catch up to where I want to be in my life. So it's about really, really just pushing and being forward with everything that you want to present. You know, um, Being forward with your fashion, being forward with your business, trying to be ahead as often as possible, providing opportunities for those that are not able to have the same things that you are, or they can have it, but they
Yes.
need some kind of they need options as far as getting it. So that's what I'm working on as well. Just providing a different option for people um, of all kinds at the end of the day. But I'm always going to gear it towards the people who look like me, who talk like me, who stand with me. Because even now I've been protesting a lot as well. So just going forth with all the protests, understanding that we as a people need to fight and stand together. And that's just it. We just need to stand and fight together. So I carry all of that within my business.
Okay, my next question to you is, how do you stay updated with the trends in the fashion industry? Because when I seen your designs, it was just like it's nothing, again, like it's nothing I've never seen before. It's like ahead of our time. Like fashion trends are changing. So where do you get your ideas from?
Um, I do a lot of research. Like sometimes I'll stay up for like 6 or 7 hours just Googling things, being on Pinterest, looking at forecasts from in different countries and different cities, looking at past shows from like 15 years ago, just constantly doing my research, and fashion does repeat itself, but it also has to be innovative as well. So when I do my research, I'm ensuring that whatever I see, I want to revamp it, make it more innovative. Uh, it can be something as simple as this shirt and just changing the collar and adding more details to it. That's what's really important. Like details and structure, just researching those things constantly. It's really, really important for me. And even my culture. So like, I might feel one day like, all right, I want to make it based on this, that, and the third. Like something based on my Trinidadian culture. how can I extract that and put it into something that is more wearable for people who are not ready to step out of the box, but want to feel like that on an everyday basis. So I research all the time. Research doesn't stop. I look everywhere.
My next question to you is, how would you define your personal style? Because in my opinion, it's so eclectic, like it's so different. How would you define it?
You just said the right word, eclectic. Eclectic. I love everything. So I know you watched the show and the presentation of it all. So I would literally walk around the city just in one of those looks like no problem. So as RuPaul would say, like we're all born naked and the rest is drag. Like I truly commit to that statement. Like it is what it is. What you see is what you get. I am not afraid to walk around with a turban that's like another 3 feet taller than myself or anything of that nature. I'm okay with that. I'm also okay with jeans and a t-shirt. Do I have fun in that as well? Yes, but not as much fun as me wearing a turban that's 3 feet taller, with a little finesse on my outfit. Um, I think it's really important to just be as expressive as you want to be. And that's what I like to channel. Like a lot of my friends have always noticed that Jerri is like, he's always gonna pull a look. He's always gonna do this. He's always gonna do that. That's just Jerri at the end of the day. There's no like, oh well, we're just going to the supermarket. Okay, well, let me go freshen up, put on an outfit. It's essential. You got to get dressed all the time. Even my grandmother to this day, like, she doesn't repeat an outfit. So, and my grandmother's up there. She's going to be 77 this year. So,
Wow.
and she does not repeat an outfit. So I think that's where it comes from. My grandmother ultimately.
And my thing is this, when it comes to age and fashion, you wear it however you want to wear it. You pull it off and you carry yourself with confidence. Fashion is about having confidence, and it's not just a sense of art, but it's a sense of making a statement. Like when you walk in the room, you make a statement automatically, like with a bright print or a bright color, or it can be makeup, whatever it is. You just make that statement and you own it and you make it your own signature piece. And that's what I love about fashion. That's why I got into it.
Yeah, that's ultimately what it is. Just making it yours. And I feel like I had this epiphany now, not when I first started. Now, when you actually saw this collection, that was the epiphany for me. Because my style now becomes saleable for the multitude.
Yes, and that's what it's about. Now, my next question is for you. It's not on the list, but
No,
what do you
go
think
for it.
about designers and with everything that's going on with the pandemic and everybody having to be in quarantine, and a lot of designers are taking things digital, like Milan Fashion Week was digital and Paris Fashion Week was digital. Naomi Campbell opened up. What are your thoughts on this?
I think it's great. It's forward thinking. It's everybody wants fashion. So again, when I did my presentation, I needed to make sure that my live was virtual enough for everybody to
And it
watch
was
and take.
amazing.
Thank you. So like the resources are out there. You just have to look for them. You have to. Especially if you want to be forward thinking, you've got to be able to research. There's going to be many nights you're not going to want to stay up, but you have to. You're going to have to research all the time. And this is what these other houses do, these other fashion houses. Luckily, they have enough people as a staff to go ahead and like spend the time needed. Me, I'm just one person working as like 4 other people, 5 other people, 6 other people at once. You know, so when it comes down to it, my planning is going to be far different from a major house's planning at the end of the day. They can release a collection in a day, and they have all of the people in line to make sure that things are in place already, books are ready, websites are ready. I got to put out a launch date, let you know ahead of time so that I'm ready ahead of time for y'all. because I'm the one that's doing everything alone. And I don't
And
see myself doing it like that forever, but that's what it is now.
yes, because it's like it's difficult to juggle many hats, and I'm just like, how do you do it? How do you do it? It's definitely multitasking, and some people are capable of doing it, and some people are not capable of doing it. But you do it excellently. When you did your virtual presentation, that's what drew me in. It was just like fan. It was like fantasy. It's like nothing I've never seen.
Thank you so much. Like, even watching it today, it's almost like an out of body experience. Like the first couple of days was out of body for me. I'll be honest with you, because it's on a major platform. The viewership was there, and I was just shocked on that as well. I didn't believe that I put in this much work until the final product was out into the world. So I watched it again with you all, and I was just like, this is bananas. So like my excitement, my friends were in the same room as me watching, and they were like, what is this? Like, when did you do this? How did you do this? Why? Like, where? When? They all thought it was just going to be some kind of like, okay, well, here's some photos. Boom. They thought I was going to be on a conversation like this with you and just talking about a collection. Honey, when they saw it, they was like, what? Like, just gagging. And I was just like, wow, this is the epitome of Black excellence, you know. And I could not have done it without like two great people as well. Like a really, really good friend of mine, he was in the background just making sure that everything was recorded properly. We spent many days, and this wasn't the first rollout. This was not the first rollout. It was just like we recorded it first. Ty and I was just like, okay, we liked the idea at first, but then after that, it was just like, this is not it. This is not it. We recorded this over and over until we got it right. And when we got it right, it was just like, I don't think we did this. I don't think we did this. And we're still like, our pores are still like raised at the fact that we did something so magical and so forward and so Black. You know, it was monumental for us just to sit back and watch, you know.
And speaking of monumental, we have another one of my special guests that I'm going to be interviewing Saturday. Ari is here, Ike. So make sure you guys tune in. We got Black excellence all up in this interview.
Yes.
And we're going to be taking some, now's the time we're going to take some questions and then we're going to wrap it up because I know Jerri is definitely going to be booked to capacity. But if you have not seen the virtual collection, you need to go and check it out on Jerri's page right now. It is absolutely fabulous. I wouldn't steer you wrong. I love perfection, and fashion is about perfection, and perfection takes time and it takes patience. So it's all about diligence, structuring yourself into something that you truly love. Like Rihanna's Met Ball gown. We didn't know that gown was going to go virtual, and it took 2 years to make. So shout out to the designer, Guao Pei. Is absolutely fabulous.
Gupe really did a great job.
Yes.
Like, no one knew that was coming down, you know. But I really think that that's where my future is, you know, just constantly being as innovative as possible. Because I know the world will see the star that I am. They just need to walk on over and continuously, because I got to keep doing what I'm doing. And when y'all all come, is when y'all all will come.
And that's what it is. It's all about finding that niche, finding something that gives you the inspiration, finding something that makes you feel beautiful on the inside and out. And fashion makes me feel good. You can put on a red dress, you can put on a red suit, whatever it is. Find a piece in your closet, a key statement piece, and make yourself feel good. Fashion boosts your confidence. I have a question for Jerri. How do you balance being a designer in your personal life? I answered that question. Go ahead.
So, hey, Slick Rick. Thank you for the question. I balance my personal life with being a designer, I guess. I think there's no divide at this point, because what I wear in my personal life is what I make, is what I design. So I don't think there's really a balance. I think at this point, it's just all one thing because I'll wear this out to brunch as a regular in my personal life. But this is also me promoting and branding myself now. You know, I look at it as me being, I don't know. I, I just look at it as me just being my best self, you know, and that is my personal life, wanting to be my best self. And then also in my business life as a designer, that's me being my best designer life as well. So I think it's important that we're able to merge the two, but also take the time out to get the rest that your body needs in your personal life because once the business takes off, it takes off. Now it's up to you to keep up with it. The business is always going to keep going. You gotta always make sure that you take care of yourself personally, yes. But I find them to live in a happy duality right now, you know, and I'm in a happy duality right now. I'm in a happy place. So I can't tell you like if there's a strict balance between the two. It's so for me it's really not. I find this to be fun now. This is much more fun than anything that I have ever done in my life now. So if you're gonna do it, if you're gonna be a designer, make sure that you have fun with what you do. Make sure you live it. Make sure you own it. Make sure you're proud of whatever it is. Because I was not gonna give y'all some little rinky dink little fashion show now. Like I was like, no, I can't do it. Because you know everybody gonna be DMing each other. Everybody gonna be texting each other like, you saw what Jerri did. I don't want this one. I want this one. Like, yes, you saw what Jerri did. That's the energy that I want. And that's the energy that I'm going to consistently attract. And once you know what you want, it's about attracting it now and making sure that you live by it and do it.
And that's what it's about. You don't half ass. You do not half ass on your shows. The virtual presentation, I'm just obsessed with it because it was everything. It was nothing like I've never seen before. Like you guys have seen Valentino's virtual presentation, and I posted that on my feed. Hide the fashionista stories. You got somebody to add to your roster and lineup for your fashion stories of the week. Definitely check out Jerri Reid's designs. Absolutely fabulous. Like again, it's nothing I've never seen before. It's mixed with couture, and he said he included all of his heritage, all of his background heritage, which I think more and more designers are starting to do now. Like what's the designer's name? Like Loewe. Loewe is so different. It's like nothing I've never seen before. Balenciaga. It's a lot of fashion houses that are starting to incorporate a lot of prints and patterns because it's summertime and a lot of people like bright fashions, and that's what it's about. And Jerri, as Jerri said earlier in the interview, a lot of fashions are starting to repeat themselves. Like I love the 80s, and you guys know I'm obsessed with Grace Jones. Anything Grace Jones or Mugler, anything high shouldered, anything structured, just carnivorous, just rich. I love it. So we're gonna take some questions from the audience for Jerri if you guys want to.
Yes, any more questions? Oh, my best friend is here. Hi,
Hi,
chat.
best friend. And you guys check out the Fashionista Stories. The Fashionista Stories is
For
a
sure.
black-owned fashion blog. Like, she's absolutely amazing. She is based with a lot of celebrities, so definitely go and check her out as well too. So fashion industry, a lot of us that are black and up and coming in the fashion industry, we have to network. We definitely have to.
We do, yes. I will say this, like to piggyback off of, you know, a lot of other houses utilizing their heritage and culture. We just have to really understand that a lot of it derives from who we are. You know, so when we talk about a lot of these other major houses, we really have to reconsider how and why we're supporting them, and they're capitalizing off of our black heritage, our black culture, our black spirituality. Like, not saying that, you know, spirituality is wholeheartedly black, but what I'm saying is a lot of these things come from our diasporas, from which, you know, we come from, our past. And we got to keep in mind that they want to use our stuff, but not necessarily support our stuff. So that's why I'm really taking this step forward with who I am as an artist, as a designer, as a person, as a Black, queer, Afro Caribbean, Afro Latino male. And it's important that we just, I don't want to say take advantage, but when you know who you are, use that. That's your power. It's your power. So if anyone is in here that's wanting to do a business, start a business, be a designer, be an artist, whatever it is, use who you are to get where you want to go. You are uniquely you.
Okay, I got a question from Ike. Make sure you guys tune in this Saturday, 9 a.m. for my interview with Ike from the hit, highly anticipated web show, G Status ATL. He's going to be discussing his music. And he says, which one is more important, style or fashion? And then the Fashionista story said, we need to support each other for real. Absolutely. Especially Black fashion creators, we have to, 100%. So I'll let Jerri take the question. I just had to add on to that.
So you just gonna throw that at me? Okay, which one is that? Fashion or style? Fashion or style? Fashion, style, style, fashion, style, fashion. I'm gonna have to go with, I'm gonna say style. And the reason why I say style is because certain styles influence fashion.
Yes.
So that's all I'll say with that. I'm gonna just say it's important with style because you can have all these fashions. You can show up to a fashion show with no fashions, but you got to be able to have style. It's about style.
And it defines your personality. Like the way a person dresses, it says a lot about them. You guys know, you guys know the expression, the old adage, image is everything, or first presentation, or your image speaks for itself. So the type of image that the way you dress, it reflects when you go out for job interviews or whatever it is. And with me, even with me, there's not a moment there might be a couple moments you might catch me without makeup or hair or whatever it is, but that's me. That's in my downtime. But when I'm doing something like this, an interview or whatever it is, you will always see me glamorous. Makeup, hair, down, whatever it is, your image reflects for itself because they can go through and they can say, okay, oh, I don't want to work with her or I don't want to work with him because he's like this or he's like this. Or, the way they present themselves, image is everything. So you see how you reflect because word of mouth, especially in the fashion world is dog eat dog. And it's just like everybody wants to be there for themselves. Everybody's on top. It's just like, okay, the rap game. We're not going to compare Nicki and Cardi. This is not about them right now. But this is about fashion. It's like, even with the rap game, it's like everybody wants to be the best or, I'm the it person. The fashion world is like that too. You're going to have a lot of top-notch designers that are up and coming on the scene, and they're competing with other designers. And it's going to be like, okay, you think you better than me, or you think, show me what you got. It's like, okay, the ballroom, you know about the ballroom scene,
Right.
the dance scene in the ballroom. You know what it's like. You better represent, show up and show out, because the fashion world, they can eat you up and they can spit you out. You better bring it hard. It's go hard or go home.
I'll also say this, a lot of these houses aren't worried about each other. They ain't worried about each other. And I heard on a podcast once, they're walking down the aisle, the bread aisle, and there's like 100 different breads there. You can choose as many of them as you want. You can even just choose one. But at the end of the day, the bread is the bread, and it's always going to be there. Like, those brands that are on those shelves are not worried about each other. So if we come out with another brand tomorrow, let's say Miss Stevie decides to come out with a luxury coat wear line tomorrow, how many other luxury coat lines are there already? It doesn't matter. You still gonna make your coin, they still gonna make their coin, life moves on. That's how we really, really need to think about it now going forward. Like, doesn't matter who's making what, What matters is what you're doing with your time, what energy you're putting into it, and how are you going to make sure the world sees the star that you are. Whether it be your packaging, whether it be the design structure, whether it be anything of that nature. You could be the best at coats, period, and be known for just coats, and that's okay. There are going to be
Or
100 other people.
shoes,
Yeah,
right?
you know, anything.
Okay, and my bestie, she says, someone take me to a ball. Listen, the ballroom scene, that's nothing to play with. Like I said, it's either go hard or go home. Show up and show out. And Jerri knows all about the ball scene. Everybody knows about the ballroom scene,
Oh
the
yeah, I know
categories, the
of it for sure.
houses.
Mm-hmm.
So let's keep it going. Some more questions before we wrap up, ladies and gents, because this is a good conversation. We need to
Yes.
notice the history of fashion as black people, because there's so many designers out here. Like I said, my assistant principal, me growing up in South Carolina, I didn't know anything about Valentino or Oscar de la Renta or Mugler or how to pronounce some of their names. And my sister principal, she'd be like, no, 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 baby, that's not how you pronounce that. Some designers get mad when you mispronounce their name,
Yeah.
like Parenza Score. I had to train myself, like Lake of Pan. It's so many. Roger Vivier. It's so many I could name right off the top of my head, and that's
Mm-hmm.
because she put me on. She said, "No, baby, you need to be reading Vogue." I'll
Right.
just be reading Teen Bop and magazines like that. But then I said, it's a whole nother side to fashion.
Right.
It's so many designers out here. How come the ones that are black and LGBT, we well, I'm not a designer. I'm a like a fashion influencer. I stay current on what's going on. But why aren't we getting the light that these designers, like a Michael Kors, like Jerri said in the beginning of the interview, or a Oscar de la Renta, or a Valentino? Why aren't the black LGBT designers not getting the shine in the forefront that the other high fashion houses are getting?
Well, it has a lot to do with um, marketing,
Yes,
how funding happens, who's your sponsor, who's your investor. Because we have designers out like Raquan Smith. Um, there's a few other black designers that are out as well. There's one of the guys that are in public school as well, and you have Olivier, who is a designer. So it's not as prevalent as it could be. Even what's this guy's name? His face is in my head right now. Um, Not Virgil Abloh, but yes, that's a designer as well. Uh, Kirby Jean Raymond. He has a brand as well, and he is a heavy influencer for streetwear, urban wear, athleisure, and a lot of his designs get ripped off by major houses as well.
oh
So,
yes.
it has a lot to do with, eh, it just has a lot to do with who we are, I guess, as people, and not getting the notoriety that we deserve. Uh, I pay attention to a lot of my local designers as well, and I make sure that I I do what I can to just take myself up another notch. Like, how do I get to the next level? I always try to forget about the how. It needs to also be about the why. Like, why do I want to take it to the next level? At the end of the day, it's about servicing people and being sure that there's the quality there that everybody is going to enjoy.
Absolutely. And fashion is about educating yourself. Like, I stay with a Hoppers Bazaar or Vogue in my hand somewhere nearby. Like, I have a lot of them. Like Jerri said, you have to do your research. Know about these designers, because there's a lot of them out here. There's a lot of up and coming designers. Start supporting these up and coming designers. They don't want to compete with all that talent. Yes, and it get competition is fierce. Some people feel like, oh, you trying to compete when you think you the best. You know, y'all know how the fashion industry is. It's very cutthroat. It's very cutthroat.
I
And there
also
are,
started,
go
yes.
ahead.
I also started a blog called Designer Blackmail on Instagram. What I did with that, I'll put it right here below. Designer Black Male. You guys can follow it so that you can keep up with the Black male designers international as well. So people like David Slale, Ken Lawrence, Anthony L. There's No Tribe Clothing. All of these different Black males that are outside of the U.S. and within the U.S. They're getting the notoriety in their areas, but I think they're just as deserving as these other brands that are major, quote unquote. So I I constantly always want to know what's happening, what's going on. Like I'll even look at things that Patrick Kelly did. I'll look at things that B. Michael did years
Oh
ago.
yes.
There are a lot of designers that are out there that have been doing the groundwork for years, but they weren't receiving or given that opportunity to just be their greatest self, you know. But with me, I'm just trying to rub things together to make amazing things happen. So
Right, you use what you got, and a lot of designers are having to do that. They're having to use what they got. We're not able to get to the fabric stores or wherever we need to be.
yeah,
Some people are having to order from home. You gotta take what you've got. It can be the most inconvenience items. It can be like okay, Billy Porter. Billy Porter wore it was like a gown thing, and they used the curtains, and his designer took it and made a piece, and it turned into a fashion statement that everyone has seen. And Billy Porter is always one to push the envelope when it comes to fashion. So whatever it is, it can be a curtain, it can be a tablecloth. You take it and you make it your own. And for me, y'all remember the jacket that I wore? That was actually a blazer. And what I did was I took it and I turned it into a romper. People thought it was a dress. I was like, no, I had to move my legs apart so people could see it, to see that it was a romper, but they thought it was a dress. So no, I mean, you can make it whatever you want it to be. And a lot of fashion designers are having to use what they got. And that's what it's about.
I agree.
So we're going to wait on some more questions, but my next questions to you while the questions are rolling in is, where do you see yourself in the next 10 years with your brand? Because I see it taking off bigger.
Oh, thank you. 10 years from now, I'm sure that I will have a brick and mortar, which is a storefront. I'm sure that e-commerce will take off exponentially. I'm sure that I will already have done multiple virtual fashion shows in ways that people didn't understand, or like in ways that were so inspiring. Just all great things. I teach children how to sew as well, and I also do a lot of work with my community as far as sewing and design goes. So within those 10 years, I do see much more of me doing that in my community and providing jobs for people, especially Black and queer people as well. Just wanting to provide jobs, provide services for people, continuously selling the clothes, just constantly an overflow of greatness. That's where I see it in 10 years. I see much more, but that's the synopsis of it.
I could see it walking down the runways of Paris Fashion Week and Milan Fashion Week. That's what I could see it, because that's the type of content that they look for, is over the top couture fashion. And it's definitely a force to be reckoned with. Again, it's like nothing I've never seen before. So that's where I see your designs going.
Thank you. Thank you. This
What
is
an
just
amazing
so
human.
humbling. I'm appreciative of this. It's super, super humbling. You're just giving me the ammunition to keep going. That's it. That's what you're doing. You're just giving me ammunition to make sure that I stay on this computer, make sure I keep designing, keep being wholeheartedly myself. No regrets.
Please include plus size. Oh, I'm pretty sure he will. Go
Oh,
ahead,
it's
Jerry.
here. It's
Take that
here.
one.
So I did a bit of cleaning up on my social media just so that my collection will stand out much more right now. but I indulge in a lot of work. I do a plethora of things. One of my clients is a full figure woman, and we're always constantly working and doing things. So size is not an issue for me, as far as inclusiveness or anything of that nature. Um, the pieces on the website right now, I want to say like they go up to like a double XL in certain things. So
Okay.
there's room for a lot of people within my website. So don't be afraid to ask any questions. If there's something that you truly like on my website and you want it for yourself, but you don't see it in your size or something, just shoot me a DM. And I do custom pieces as well. Custom versus retail is going to be a different avenue, because with custom, it's going to cost a little more. With what I'm selling as a retailer, it's the price that you receive on the website. But as far as custom goes, it ups the ante a little more. It's tailored to you.
Yes, and a lot of designers are doing that as well too, custom pieces. Like a lot of people just like, okay, I flip through the pages of Vogue or Harper's Bazaar, and there's something in there that grabs my eye, and I want something that's custom made. Like I said, Rihanna's gown took 2 years to make. So a lot of celebrities and a lot of everyday people want stuff that's custom made, like stuff that you wouldn't really see in the stores. Like I know when I go into a store, like okay, a Saks or Neiman's or whatever it is, there's pieces in there I'm just like, blah. It gets all bland to me. Like I want something custom made.
I get it. A lot of people are like that at this point. They want to be custom or they want to be different. So I made sure with this collection, it was extremely different, but also, just bring that custom effect to it, I guess, because it almost feels one of a kind, a lot of my pieces. So I I definitely understand where you're coming from.
Any more questions before we wrap up this interview, ladies and gentlemen? It was amazing. We discussed basically the history of fashion, uh, owning your master, whatever it is fashion related. We discussed it all in this interview. So we're going to wait on some more questions to come in, to roll in, because this was just a fabulous interview, and it basically discussed the thing that I love the most, and that's fashion.
Of
So
course.
we definitely can look to a lot more forward from Jerri, and I can guarantee you, don't be shocked when you see him at Paris Fashion Week. I'm going to be the one right there saying, I told you so. I told
Okay.
you so.
Let's go, Miss Stevie. You better put it into the universe for me. Thank you.
I'm claiming
Thank
it. You're
you.
welcome. This was just a fabulous interview. If we don't have any more questions, we're going to wrap it up. We can't keep Jerri, ladies and gentlemen, but please make sure you go out and check out the digital fashion show. It was everything. Like, I can't stop talking about it. I'm obsessed. So please go and check it out on Jerri's page at Jerri Reid, right here on Instagram. And we are manifesting success. That's what it is. We
Thank
got to. We
you.
got to manifest positive things into the universe. Speak it into existence, because you never know. The next treasure could be the next blessing. I'm telling you, speak it into existence. With everything that's going on right now, we
Yes.
have to speak it into
Yes.
existence. We have to be
Yes.
prepared.
Yes. My hand is right here, ready to catch it. So,
So take those blessings, you guys. This was an
amen.
amazing interview with you, and I thank you so much for taking the time out of your
Thank
schedule to do
you
it
for
with me.
considering me. I
You are so
appreciate
welcome.
you. May you continuously shine bright.
Thank you.
No
And
problem.
we will. Make
Yes.
sure you guys follow Jerri and tune in this Saturday for my exclusive sit down interview with Ike from G Status ATL Hustle. So make sure you guys do that. And again, thank you so much for your time. And we look forward to whatever you are going to bring to the table, because, baby, I know you're going to bring it.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Have a great week, okay? Talk to
You
you soon.
too. And you be blessed.